Hey, what is up you guys? My name is Catherine. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be testing out and reviewing the Juno & Co. Microfiber Velvet Sponge. So if you're someone who watches a lot of beauty YouTubers, you may have seen Nikki Tutorials or Kathleen Light's review on this sponge, which made it go sort of viral, I guess. I mean, this sold out like crazy after those videos. Basically, the hype with this little guy is that it is a velvety material instead of your usual just like latex or miscellaneous foam sponge material, and it's supposed to give you a fuller coverage look than the regular beauty sponge. So if you're not familiar with Juno & Co., it's basically this website that reminds me a lot of Shop Hush. It's just online only, and they carry a lot of affordable and drugstore products as well as a lot of dupes. So I did buy one of these. I got this one that has the teardrop shape with the flat bottom, and then they also have one that has a more rounded bottom with sort of a cut out edge, so it has a very flat side. And both of these retail for $6, and then after I bought this, they actually ended up sending me 2 of them. So I gave one to my roommate and I have 2 for myself. And then they did also send me this really gorgeous eyeshadow palette. So let me know if you guys want to see some looks with this. Like, look at that purple, it's beautiful. And I got set up with an affiliate code with them and everything, which is really cool. So if you do choose to shop using the link that I put in the description box down below, just know that that is an affiliate link, and if you use it, I very much appreciate it. But if you're not down to use an affiliate link, you're more than welcome to just Google Juno & Co. and I still love you just as much just for watching my video. So the claims on their website basically just say that if you're looking for a more natural airbrushed foundation finish, the Juno Microfiber Velvet Sponge is your go-to. It's made with velvet soft microfiber bristles and a slanted edge for controlled stippling. The Juno Microfiber Velvet Sponge provides buildable coverage fast. And then I did get another email from them with just additional tips for how to use. So that says microfiber means microscopic, small fibers cover the makeup sponge. You can definitely feel them. It's very like soft and fuzzy and cute. I kind of want to put little googly eyes on this one. Wet sponge for a flawless airbrushed look. Works best with liquid foundation and cream concealer. Because the sponge is designed to absorb less product, if you use the same amount of product you'd use with other sponge, you'll end up with more product in your face. So to test out these claims, I'm going to be doing one side of my face using the Juno & Co. sponge and the other side of my face using my favorite beauty sponge at the moment. So real quick, just take a look at my face, see if you can guess which side I used which sponge on, and let me know down below. I'm really curious to see if you guys can tell a difference right off the bat. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and let's test this out. Alright, I have primed my face with the Touch in Sol No Problem Primer, and I have wet the Juno & Co. Microfiber Sponge. So just for comparison, this is the dry one and this is the wet one. You can see it did get a little bit bigger, but nothing crazy. It is also quite a bit softer now that it is wet. I'm using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This is my Project Pan foundation. I would consider this a very true medium coverage foundation, so it'll be pretty nice to see if like the coverage gets built up more. I'm starting out with the control side. This is my sponge of the moment. It's the AOA Studio Wonder Teardrop Blender. It's very soft. I normally blend my foundation in with the round side. So this is how this side of my face is looking. You can see that like my skin tone's been evened out, but like it didn't cover up my pimples or anything. Yeah, my nose texture is off along here. We're just gonna ignore that because it be like that sometimes. Looks to be about the same amount. I think I'm gonna try this flat bottom side. I actually typically like flat sponges better. I just really like the texture of that AOA one. That is definitely higher coverage. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the brightness down so I can just get up closer. Like, I feel like there's like a solid line of where the coverage is higher, with the sponge, but it doesn't look cakey or anything. And I mean, I feel like my pores and like this pimple up here are much more covered, but it still looks very smooth and radiant like you typically get with a sponge. I mean, I hope you can see that, right? Like, it just, even like this area of my face, it just is much more smooth and covered. That is crazy, y'all. Okay, let me turn this back down so we can scooch back. I'm gonna do concealer and powder with this too. Okay, I'm actually gonna be using the Revolution Beauty Conceal and Define Concealer because I'm more familiar with how this one behaves than the Catrice one, which is the concealer from my Project Pan. So I'm doing 3 dots and then I'm doing another dot down there. So again, this is the AOA Studio side, and then I typically use the pointed end for concealer. And same thing for this side, minus covering up the pimple. And I'm gonna try out this pointed end. Alright, so this is just concealer. I haven't powdered yet. I don't know if the difference is quite as noticeable with the concealer as it was with the foundation, but I think it's still noticeable. Like the under eye, like baggy part doesn't look so noticeable because it's a little brighter on this side. I'm really shocked, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm just gonna powder this up close like this. So I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade Fair. So again, I just dip the corner in very lightly. I'm just tapping that into the under eye. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. So that is the under eye powdered, so you can see the difference in texture. I definitely think I like this better for powdered because it's not so wet, but it's wet enough that it's still pressing the powder into the skin, which is something that I really like for my dry under eye area. But sometimes the powder can get a weird texture if your sponge is super wet. So I'm actually just gonna do some blush and highlighter. I'm just gonna go run some errands. My phone's broken, so I need to go to the Apple store. And then I am gonna do just like a wear test, but like not like a 10-hour wear test, just like I'm curious to see how each side will hold up since the coverage is visibly different. So yeah, I'll do my little check-in in natural lighting and I'll be back. All right, I am back. Unfortunately, I was at the Apple store for way longer than I expected. My phone was unfixable, so I ended up having to get a new one. So I didn't get the chance to do a recording of the Juno & Co sponge versus my AOA Studio sponge in natural light. But anyways, I'm just gonna get up close again so y'all can see what's happening on this face. The two differences that I have noticed are that on this side I'm getting some creasing in my nose area here and the teeniest little bit of creasing on my little like smile line thing that I've got going on, which makes sense because there is more product on this side of the face than there is on this side. And then I also noticed that like in this little area on like the T-zone part of my cheek or whatever you want to call it, the product is broken down a little bit more and you can kind of just start to see some of my redness and like actual skin through the foundation, which again, that makes sense because there's less product on that part of the face. Other than those two differences, I feel like everything is actually looking rather the same as it was when it was first applied, which is surprising because I was sweating like a racehorse today. It was way warmer out than I thought it was. So, do I support the claims of this sponge? I definitely saw a difference between the two sides of my face. I really thought that this side of my face had noticeably fuller coverage on it as opposed to this side, and I hope that you guys saw the difference too. I'm not sure. I guess I would say it's a more airbrushed finish just because more of my skin was hidden, if that makes sense. The one thing that I don't really agree or disagree with is that it gives a more natural finish. I don't think that this looks any more or less natural on this side as opposed to this side. Do I think you need to run out and buy this? Not necessarily. So I think this sponge will be great for someone who loves very full coverage makeup. If you're someone who's maybe trying to cover up cystic acne or redness, or if you just like the full coverage look, this sponge would be awesome for you because as you can see, it amped up the coverage of my foundation. I think this would also be great for someone who is very minimalist with your makeup products. So if you're someone that maybe only has a medium coverage foundation or a sheer foundation, this is going to make those products more versatile for you because it's going to help you really be able to build those up to a different coverage level, so you sort of get a sheer and a medium coverage or a medium and a full coverage foundation in one. I also think that this might be good for someone who uses more high-end foundations because in the long run you might end up saving more money. This is only $6 and you technically would need less product to just get the same effect as you regularly would with your beauty sponge. So this would help you save product, or if you're someone that's just trying to be less wasteful, this might help you do that. I think that if you're someone who loves the look of sheer foundation all the time, this might not really be the best choice for you. Or if you're just someone that absolutely hates applying your foundation with a sponge, like you are ride or die, I like applying my foundation with a brush, again, you're probably not gonna like this. I will say that I think the price is very right for this at $6. I really find that that's quite a reasonable price for a beauty sponge. Obviously the cheapest sponge in my collection is this AOA Studio $1 sponge, which absolutely blows me away with the quality. Like, I can't believe this is $1, but every other sponge in my collection is similar or more expensive in price to this. So they're not just charging you a ridiculous price for a gimmicky product. It actually is just something innovative but still affordable. The one critique that I really have is that it would be cool to see this in different colors. As you can see, the foundation on the sponge doesn't really look the best. Kind of looks a little suspect, and that's not really a big deal. Like, I know it's foundation, so I'm not actually grossed out by it or anything. But all in all, I am pleasantly surprised by this little guy. I sort of thought it was going to be more of a gimmick and there was going to be no real difference, and I actually saw one, and I'm actually happy that I got this. I think this is something interesting and unique for my collection. Let me know down below if you guys have tried this and what your thoughts are. I've seen very mixed feelings here on YouTube. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy this review of the Juno & Co. microfiber sponge, and I will see you guys on Sunday.